Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Matt with Green Bar Trading. What a day. Literally, what a day today was. If I look like I'm aging like fruit in a bag, it is because there's so much going on. So anyway, Thinkorswim, just out of nowhere, decides that they want to stop working. Now, I don't know if it was just Thinkorswim, but a lot of people were affected by that. And, we have a Discord with over 200 people on it, in it. And, I feel so bad, for people that were stuck in trades and they couldn't do anything about it. So we tried to contact Thinkorswim. They at least get back to you, but I dealt with the worst customer service and I kind of lost my mind on them a little bit. It happens. I'm a New Yorker, a native New Yorker. I do not deal with BS too much, especially with all you want when something like that happens is a sorry, okay? And they handled it really bad. So I handled it, really bad. So anyway, it is pouring rain outside, massive thunderstorms, and it's almost fitting for the day in the market. The market absolutely tanked. But that being said, how did we make money when the market went down? So the things that I'm able to trade are puts, right, on options contracts and the low float momentum stocks that don't care about the overall market. So these are good things to trade when the overall market seems to be in a corrective state at the moment. We are below the 50-day moving average. I've lost all hope at this point from even regaining it and doing anything else. We regained it for like a day and then just went down, back down. So anyway, let's get right into it. I'm going to try to go over this with you. Now, I traded in both accounts. I traded in my Thinkorswim for my momentum stocks, and I also have a Webull account that, if you're following me now for a while, I just opened about a little bit more than a week and a half ago, just for options trading. That's it. Thinkorswim, the commissions were too much. Webull, the commissions are basically nothing. It's literally pennies. And it has a pretty nice little platform for options. So I do like it. And we did go 3 for 3 today on options. Obviously, we took puts off of the open. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's just share this with you guys really, really quick. I'm just going to go over our Discord because I really do think that this is one of the best deals that you can get. It's literally $99. That's it. And you're in for lifetime access to this great community that is growing so fast, literally by the day. And it's so much more fun trading in a community rather than trading alone. I traded alone the entire year before I created this channel, before I created Discord. And I gotta say, this is the most fun I have ever had trading. It's so great, bouncing ideas off each other and just having people there all day long, especially today when Thinkorswim went out. Everybody on here was in the same boat. We were all contacting Thinkorswim together. It's just a great community. So I do want to, just show you guys here. It's $99 lifetime access. That's one payment. That's it. We're going to be starting a monthly subscription charge in December. I highly recommend getting in now for just that one payment and never having to worry about it again. So that's it. I really love the way that the Discord is. So here we go. Let's start with the options. Now, today with my three options, I simply just scalp them. Like I said, I'm new to the Webull platform. I'm going in with just one contract. That's it. I'm going in with one contract each time I scalp, and I'm just getting used to the platform. So the scalping of the three contracts with such limited risk gave us just about $50 of profit for those three quick trades. Just some quick trades off the open. I could have held longer, but of course I was looking at yesterday, and yesterday we seemed to really bounce off the open. So we dropped initially for the first 15 minutes yesterday and then had a really nice bounce. So I'm a pattern trader. A lot of times I will look at previous patterns and see if, you know, that develops. So the reason why I didn't let these things continue to go is because during the bounce, I wanted to lock in those profits. So, and listen, I'm totally fine with that. $50, you know, just for sitting here for those three trades, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, not bad at all. So initially off the SPY, we dropped, okay? On this bounce right here, this is setting up what we call a bear flag. Now, my bias going into today was on the downside. I was bearish. I always like to go into trading with a certain bias. Now, obviously, if the price action, you know, dictates otherwise, I can change pretty quickly. But my bearish was, I mean, my bias was bearish until it wasn't. So it never proved to me that I was wrong and we are bullish. It never proved that to me. So bearish off the open, the first bounce up, I got in short a put contract and then took my profit down here. And then we saw another bounce, got into another put contract, and then took my profit down. Now, could it have been so much more? Yes, I left an obscene amount of percentage on the table here. But, you know, if you would have told me that the market was going to go down this much, then, you know, you don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows where the bottom is going to be. I have specific levels that I look at that I post every morning over in our Discord. So those are levels that I look to either act as support or resistance. So once we broke one of those support levels, that was my cue to get into a put contract. And that's what I did there. Now, I also traded, let me see here. I also traded the Qs. Let's see, the put. Okay. I also traded the QQQ, which is the tech stocks. Hang on one second. Let's see if I could get this going here. The QQQ to me is so much more bearish than the SPY or the Dow right now because of treasury yields. This was so simple to take puts on. Look at this bounce we saw here off the open right to VWAP and then reject. I mean, clear, very clear levels here. I'm sorry, price direction to take your put contracts. It's going to be a put type of week, it seems anyway. At least it is now. So that's what I did here. And this thing saw a massive, massive move. You can see here, 383% on some of these put contracts. So this was the place to be today. So that's it, 3 for 3 on that. And then let me go over a trade that I took this morning. Okay, guys, so now this is Thinkorswim. This is a trade that I took on the leading gapper in the entire US stock market. This stock was gapping up huge. It hit our scanner. right here, I'll show you guys. I have a pre-market scanner, and every morning it lists the stocks that are gapping up the most by percentage. Now, why is the stock gapping up the most? That's what I like to look for. There's certain criteria that every stock is going to have in order for me to get involved. So if you watched my video from yesterday, you will know the things that I look for are the news on the stock, so the catalyst, the float on the stock, which is the amount of shares that they have available to the open market to trade. And when it comes to the float, I like a very low number. This stock, SNOA, had a very low float. I think it was about 3 million shares. Don't quote me on the exact number, but it was definitely very low. And when you do have a low stock like this, a low float, you have less shares and you have a huge demand to trade those shares. So it's simple supply and demand, right? So if you have a ton of demand for something, which is in this case, a lot of people buying the shares, and you have a low supply, which is the float, that is going to make the price skyrocket. Now, when you have these low floaters, that's when you see these real parabolic type of moves, which, is, up 80%, 90%. These are massive, massive moves. And the whole time, we're just looking to scalp it for a few cents. This trade right here, 1,000 shares, got me $127.70. That's a 12-cent move on 1,000 shares. That's all I took from this move. So, while the stock is up, a bunch of dollars, all I'm looking for is to scalp it and get out. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be holding these stocks, because once you start to hold them, the shorts pile on and it just gets faded for the rest of the day. Now, sometimes you'll notice some of these stocks that are faded. By faded, I mean, short sellers are shorting it and then just hoping that it fades for the rest of the day. Sometimes you will see some buying come in and it'll squeeze out the shorts. That does happen. It doesn't happen as often, but it does happen. So, all right, you have the float. You have the catalyst. The third thing I look for. So one of the most important things I look for, and I'm just going to take my trades off here to clean this up a bit. I'm also going to put on what I look at on the daily chart. Now I take that off. I'm just going to take this off, and I'm going to take this off. I like to look at the 200 moving average on the daily chart. So this is, each one of these is one trading day. That's what the daily chart means. And you can see here, the 200 moving average basically acts as a resistance, right? So, all through here, it's just resisting the 200, can't get over the 200 all year long, can't get over the 200, can't get over the 200. And then it starts to spike up and we get over the 200 moving average into where we are today. So this is the year 2020. And what I like to do is I map out the most important levels. So on SNOA, since I was going to be trading this stock, I like to know where I can see resistance. You can see very clearly here, 979, we cannot break above. These other days that you see here, these 2 days, it gapped over that to start. So it didn't gap under it and then run into it. So I wouldn't even count those 2 days, but I would count it if we ever did break 979. The next level for me would be room up to 1337. and then room up to 15.15. This is a former runner. By a former runner, I mean it gives big moves. And it gives big moves because you have a supply-demand imbalance. You have a very low float. So you do see these huge rips, just huge rips. And we can make money on volatility like that. So that's what I looked for. This 979 for me was extremely key. And this played every single reason when I was in the trade that I decided, and I'll show you on the 1 minute, to not get in again because of this resistance. So, and then 200. So you can see here, we're over the 200. I liked that. I usually don't like to come up to the 200 because the 200 will, normally act as resistance. So now I pull it back to the 1 day, 1 minute. This is where I do all my damage. Now I put on my 1 minute chart VWAP and my moving average, which is the 9 EMA. I apply it, and then I dial in the day. So like I said, we saw it ripping up, and let's see if this populates the, okay, good. Just gonna get over there. All right. So it rips up, pulls back, rips up again, pulls back. I get involved for the second move. Now, sometimes these will stall on the third move, okay? Especially after a big move like this. It moved up again. On the pullback, I decided this is the opportunity. We're over 850. 850 is a psychological level. I knew that I had some protection. It's over VWAP. It's over the 9 EMA. It's over the $0.50. I like where I'm at. I get in at 1,000 shares, and then I start taking small parts of the trade-off here in a few different exits. So sometimes that's what I'll do. I like to take some profit off because I tend to take profit too quick, and then I let some more work. So in this case, I let, almost 800 more shares work. So that was a big chunk of my gain by letting that next leg up. After this trade, I'm up 127.70. Life is great. And we're at this point here. Now, at this point here is when I have a flat top. A lot of times, a flat top on a super strong, high volume, day trading stock can really give the next rip up. The only thing is, stocks that are traded before 8 a.m., before 9 a.m., not every day trader has woken up yet. There's a lot of traders that are on the West Coast. At this time, it's 4 a.m. They're sleeping. So, in order to get these huge moves even more, we need day traders sitting down at their desks. We need more volume. So I trade a little differently here than I would normally trade during other times of the day. I like to be happy with, 1 or 2 legs up and, take my profit. I did not get in here. Now, this is where experience can really, really do wonders in your own trading. When you have a level at 979, right above 950, which is this flat top, there's people shorting off of this. The only way that I was getting involved again is if we broke 950 with a ton of volume, and if we broke 979 and then broke 10 and held 10. That was the only way I was going to get involved in this stock again at this point. I needed to see this break. I needed to see that huge level of resistance on the daily chart, which is right here. I needed to see that break. And this just didn't give me enough margin. Now, if this was at 850, right, and we had room up to 979, And, you know, maybe then we would have broken out from that level, but we weren't. We based out up here. And then this is what happens, guys. This is why you don't want to hold these stocks. These stocks that are up 80, 90%. Now, sometimes they will hold their move, and sometimes you'll get after hours moves on them. But, you know, it's just not good to bag hold. If you want to ruin an account, you will bag hold these momentum stocks. I do not recommend doing that. So, you know, that's it. We had the float, great. We had the news catalyst. We had a good price, and the daily chart was looking good. I had room all the way up to 979 when I got in at 850. So 1,000 shares, we're out at 127.70. I hope that, you know, going over this trade with you lets you in on the mental part of this. There's so much that goes into trading, especially momentum stocks. You know, experience is literally everything. So, you know, keep watching recap videos. I highly recommend it if you do trade, you know, momentum stocks. Ross Cameron at Warrior Trading is really, really good at these stocks. So you probably have heard of him, obviously, but, you know, you really, it's just experience. It really is experience. The more you do it, the better you will get. And also, don't get discouraged. I see too many new traders getting discouraged. This takes years. So don't trade with 1,000 shares like I just did. Take a few shares, start to learn how it goes. You don't have to become a millionaire in your first month trading. This takes years. So that's it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hit the thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and get in that Discord. $99. It's one good trade. I think we can all afford that. And it's for lifetime until we go subscription in December. So, you know, definitely take advantage of that. So that's it for me. I'll see you back tomorrow with the next video. Take care, guys.